Just an update. It is now Friday night, the 12th of February, and I've just gotten home and I've done a few little bits and pieces. Okay, now we're going to remove the wiper arms. They need to come off. And now we're going to start removing all the plates. We'll look at removing that motor, and yeah, we're going to start removing everything in the engine bay now. Quite exciting. Come Saturday morning, tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the engine bay and pulling pretty much most of everything out of it except for the subframe, because we still need it to be able to steer and for it to roll, so I can just basically push it round. So here we are. I've removed all the identification plates already. I've drilled out the pop rivets, and now I'm just going to work on removing some of the bracketry, just get a little bit of a head start for tomorrow morning. Come Saturday, I'll be trying to remove all of this, including the wiring. We'll have the final wiring all removed, including that fuse box there. A little bit of an inside look into the brakes and lower control arms. It's got the GK Tech front caster arms, and you actually can see where the tyre actually has been rubbing on the sway bar. Braided line there. It might still be a little bit wet in there. Yeah, lots of surface rust. Quite rusty, but it's just mainly surface rust that we'll be able to fix for sure. So we might be able to spray like some sort of rust converter to treat just the surface rust in there, and then we can spray it with like some sort of wax possibly once we're done painting. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright, experiment with the acetone. I already know it takes off paint, but we're going to have a look and see if we can get this sticky stuff off the guard. I'm just having a bit of fun here. Careful not to spill it on the floor. It's going to take off the paint, but I want to get all this sticky stuff off. See what it... so look at that, it takes off the paint pretty much straight away. Wow. I just wanted to get this sticky. Looks like adhesive from tape. I wanted to get that off. Okay, welcome to Saturday morning. We're going to get to work on the engine bay, pulling all that wiring out and bits and pieces. You can definitely start to see more of the potential and what it can look like. But yeah, tail lights are removed now. And this is Saturday morning, so we're going to start by removing a lot of things in the engine bay. So we're getting there. We've got the headlights removed. The wiring for the headlights is just about to be able to be removed, pulled, and we've taken the front guards off. We need to remove the wiring also under the driver's side front wheel arch. It'll be very similar to the S13, but I just like to document it so that later, if I'm wondering, where does this connector go? Where was it supposed to go? It's like just an easy reference, I guess. Those big nasty bolts poking out, that's where the fuel regulator is. But yeah, so far so good with the front. I'm really happy. It's all nice and straight. It hasn't had any hits to the front whatsoever so far. So it's looking good. It's looking really good. It's really rough in terms of paint, but just a little bit of surface rust, but no big deal at all. You can get in there with a wire wheel when it comes time to paint. Just about to disconnect the main body harness from like the secondary harness that goes to all the headlights and the engine bay and the relay box at the front there. So I just found that yeah, there's just two connectors here, it seems. Another one here, and then there's just this bolt here. It should unclip now. There might be a little clippy on it. Just put the camera down. Just managed to disconnect the main big connector. It was pretty easy, just a 10mm bolt, but it was a bit difficult to get out, but got that out, and now we should be okay. There's just one more connector here. We disconnect that and the rest should be able to be pulled from the engine bay out, with leaving this main harness in. Alright, and that is it. That is the engine bay wiring all removed. There she is. A real mess. So we're going to clean up that wiring harness completely at a later date. No more wiring in the engine bay. Still got the body harness to remove, but yeah, we're getting there. So this is it. This is the complete body harness. Look at all of that. And that's only half of it. That's the engine bay harness. So we have a lot of rewrapping of wires to do at a later date. So if you ever wanted to know how many wires actually made up in your car, in your 180SX, in your Silvia, just have a look at this. This is a whole tub of wiring, and it's not a small tub either. It's a large tub. That's how much wiring's in your car. Pretty crazy, hey? Looking pretty bare now, guys. We are getting so much closer. Clutch slave cylinder has been removed. Next is the brakes and the steering, but I want to leave them in for as long as possible, just so that I can roll the car around. And we have one rear panel over fender. We have the paint removed. That took a good solid half an hour. Just to give you an idea of how much paint there is to fix on this car, it took me, just to get the paint off alone with acetone, took me a solid half an hour. But I wanted to do it this way because it's fiberglass. I didn't want to just sand through it I basically wanted to preserve as much as possible of the nice body kit without wrecking it. Yeah, guys, so one panel done. Next, probably looking at removing this big brace. Looking pretty bare inside.